Hello, this is Elia Hart. I'm going to read a little bit of the from the book, The Body Electronics Experience. I had a request this week to speak a little bit about the emotional body and body electronics. So I'm just going to go briefly over a little excerpt from this book. Moving upscale through the emotional body allows for increasing awareness of unconditional love and unconditional forgiveness. Start with what you can access and expand from there. Awareness gradually increases as we re-experience and release from unconsciousness to enthusiasm. The model of body electronics, emotional body we use is 7 main levels, and within those levels are all 7 levels. So that makes up a total of 49 levels. We call that the 7 times 7. It shows how the 49 levels of emotion create the wavelength, the vibration, the yang, which is cause, and the yin being the effect. So in body electronics, we look at yang as with the 3 creative aspects that we're looking for on the table, which is the memory, the word patterns, and the emotion that goes with them. So when we have those 3 things simultaneously, then we can apply the 3 powers in the transmutational process, and then we really are moving ourselves up that scale of emotions. So let's go through the scale of emotions just quickly. So this is the endocrine reflex, the emotionality, and the focused expression. So level 1, actually, I'm going to start at level 7, because when in body electronics we start from the bottom up, and that's naturally how the emotional body unfolds. So we are we're going to start at level 7, and then we'll go in an upscale movement. So level 7 is connected to the gonads. That would be testes in the male and the ovaries in the female. It's the emotional, we call it the emotional level of unconsciousness. So we see unconsciousness as the emotional level in level 7, which is the from where everything that's suppressed is going to come first. It's going to come up through into the unconsciousness and go from there. And the expression is sex and reproduction. Level 6 is the spleen. The emotional level is apathy. And that at that level, we want to have involvement, but without responsibility. So it's, observing the sports teams. We're involved, but we're not responsible for actually what's going on. Level 5 is the pancreas and adrenals. More so the pancreas, but the adrenals are in coordination with that. So that is where grief is, I would say, concentrated. So the grief is there, and that's also going in with the chakras from the yogic system. So in the grief would be in the solar plexus. So that's victimization. Everything grief and below is from a victimized viewpoint. So we see life as happening to us. We're not yet recognizing that we're in control of our own ship, and we see life happening to us, and we'll see that as we unfold on the table, and especially with word patterns. We'll also have general memory there. So when you ask someone on the table to find, what are they looking for? How, if they found the feeling of grief, and then you'll ask, as a facilitator, you'll ask the person on the table, can you find a time when you felt that way before? The answer is often my whole life, or I always feel that way. That's the general feeling, the general memory that comes at that level. Level 4. So now we're getting up into the heart thymus area. And here we have, that's the level of fear. That's where we find fear. And that can be shown by security mindedness. Level 3 is the thyroid, the thyroid and the parathyroid. And here we have anger. And here we look at issues of power and control. Now, from that place, we start to have specific memory. So we're going to move from the general memory up into very specific memory. Things will start to get very clear. Our memories will be in the body, and our memories it'll be in color. It will be involving all of the senses, and will really be present in those memories. And that's where it really gets interesting. Level 2 is the pituitary. Here, pituitary gland sits just inside there. So that's where we find the emotional level of pain. And when we see that, when we find that internally as we're moving, we're transmuting our way upscale. And when we find the level of pain, then we can really begin to grasp duality. We can start to see how we're attached to one side of a duality to the exclusion of the other. And that's really when things get so much more interesting, because we then have upon transmuting that emotional level of pain, we really find ourselves being having access into the mental body. That's where things really start to shift. I mean, they're shifting all the way up, but things really start to shift at the level of pain. So level 1 is the pineal. So the pineal is straight down in the middle, in the back of the brain, kind of in the center part. You can look at. It's really a good idea for anybody that is preparing. It's really a good idea to study on the physicality of the body. So you can look up Gray's Anatomy. They have some great stuff online, and just familiarize yourself with the endocrine system, with the spinal system. That's really helpful. Just to really have that knowledge, if you don't already, prior to an intensive, a point holding intensive. So in the pineal is the emotional level of what we call enthusiasm. But the enthusiasm, we use that word. John used that word to express the energy that is there to transmute everything below it. And you find that at every level. Remember, I said there's 7 times 7 levels. So every level, as we're going up, we have that level of enthusiasm that will transmute everything beneath it if we apply it to the those 3 creative components. From the enthusiasm, we have full access. When we've gone up through 49 levels, then we have full access to the mental body. Things really change when we get from the emotional body to the mental body. That's for another video. But I just wanted to go over, just briefly, this 7 times 7 level of the emotional body in the practice of body electronics. Thank you for watching.